So let's look at one more function that we want to rewrite as a series, and that's sine of x over x. And we can rewrite sine of x as its Taylor, as x minus x cubed over 3 factorial plus x fifth over 5 factorial minus x to the 7th over 7 factorial. It's just the alternating odd powers dividing by the odd factorial. And in all these types of problems, I mean, you're going to want to find a polynomial that you already know. So that's your sine of x. You already know that one. You should know it by heart. Cosine of x, e to the x, and then you kind of want to change it a bit. In this case, you're dividing by x. In the previous case, you were substituting an x squared. So you're just going to change it slightly. So now that we have this, we can write sine of x over x well as just this polynomial and divide everything by that 1x. Dot, dot, dot. And all that's going to do is reduce the power of these x's by 1. So if we rewrite that, well, that first one's just going to be 1 minus, well, x cubed. That's going to turn into x squared. Factorials are not affected. And you can keep on doing that. And that's going to be your polynomial for sine of x over x. And if we want to rewrite that sigma notation, well, we're starting off with 1. And once again, when you're starting off with 1, lots of the times you're going to want to start at n equals 0. And well, this is a bit of a trickier one to write out, but basically hope you guys caught this. This would be an x to the 6th, because that was x to the 7th over x. But our powers of x are increasing by, well, basically they're increasing by 2, and we're starting at 0. So we're going to have x to the 2n. Well, we're starting at 0, so that works out, 2n. If we plug in 1, we get this x squared. Plug in 2, we get this x fourth. Plug in 3, we get this x to the 6th. And we need to divide that by something that gives us these factorials. Well, that they're increasing also by 2, and they're starting at 1 factorial, because it's 7 factorial minus 2, that's 5 factorial minus 2, that's 3 factorial minus 2, that's 1 factorial. And it's starting at 0, you're going to want a plus 1, and then you're increasing by 2n. That's going to be a factorial. And don't forget, this is alternating, and to make it alternate, you need this negative 1 to the n. And you always want to make sure that the power of this negative 1 matches up, since we're starting with a positive term, and it's starting at 0. Well, negative 1 to the 0 power is 1, so that works. That gives us a positive term. Let's say this was negative, and that was positive, and that was negative, and that was positive. Well, then we'd want a negative 1 to the n plus 1. So you always want to make sure that those match up. But basically, that's how you rewrite sine of x to the x as a series. And just remember, you're looking for the polynomial of part of this function, and then you're just going to change that a bit to get this.